Now, Denise has joined us. I think you're up till the early hours putting that piece together, Denise. Are you feeling a little spaced after this weekend?
It's not the night, it's the week, isn't it, Denise?
The whole week leading up. You know, and if I'm this tired, I can't imagine what everyone those who are organizing the event, how they must be feeling, because it's just so much work. I mean, we were in Toronto all weekend, and just to see all that takes place for something like this is all the police presence, the walls, the convoys, the hotels, like all of these things that need to host this kind of world event.
But surprisingly, not too much traffic on the Gardiner.
Oh my goodness, Toronto was a ghost town. It was so strange.
I heard a few reports from reporters who actually got arrested, and in some cases retreated to their satellite trucks just to avoid the violence. In some cases asked to be arrested so they could at least get out of there and then explain themselves to the police afterwards.
Well,
what about you? Did you have any of those issues?
We were at the demonstration on Saturday, so we had actually followed a demonstration on Friday and then one on Saturday. And I'm going to be bringing you a report from the Mica Challenge Canada. They were part of the march. And so I was on the front lines with them, marching along and asking them about why they were there. And then our cameraman Greg and I, we got out, and it was just before the whole violence erupted. And so I think we have some video of that event, of the violence that we saw. And I mean, this is just unbelievable scale. I have to say, the police did a great job in trying to hold this sort of aggression back. This was actually from the aftermath. We went back on Sunday, and it was, again, people were boarding up buildings, just police presence everywhere, just fears that this would happen again, and thank God it did not happen again yesterday. But really strange to see Toronto in such a state. And I asked,
protesters are trying to kind of just raise awareness about their issues, but then the minority comes in and just makes it like bad for
they do spoil it for the people who were really protesting and trying to make their point. And you know, these guys come in and start smashing windows, and that's what gets all the coverage. And so the people who really want to make their point, their voice gets lost.
Yeah, and the overall consensus, as I was talking to different people, was that this was, you know, just there's no justification for what happened in Toronto with the protests.
Voices being lost, a common theme because of the anarchists. But thrilling to see a group like the Mica Challenge. I'm hearing about them for the first time, an arm of EFC based on Micah 6:8. What does the Lord your God require of you? That you act justly, act justly, love mercily, and walk humbly with your God. Who are these folks?
Well, you'll be meeting them tomorrow. They're a group of young people who came up, many of them from the States, just to be part of this conference and to be, what they said, a Christian voice in the midst of all the other voices as well. Because, you know, we do have a lot of commonalities in seeking justice for the poor, but the ways we go about seeking that justice may be a little different.
Now, you brought us a report last week, Denise, that was very stirring from Washington. The Women Deliver conference. And I mean, it's great to hear that Harper's initiative has got a commitment of $5 billion for mothers and children. But this seemed to me a group of women so diverse, so vocal, so determined. They're not going away because this conference is over, this summit is over.
No, it's just mixed. It's a mixed reaction to this event. I mean, $5 billion over 5 years is great, and Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation is also throwing in extras. So I think it comes to 7.3, all said. But it was just that, you know, compared to other summits and different issues that have come on the radar, this one didn't generate as much funds. And it could be that accountability factor, in that, you know, because we're tracking now what these conferences are about, what they're making pledges on, and then really seeing if they deliver. I think leaders may be more conservative now in these pledges.
Back in 2005, you know, the leaders of the world committed to 2010 being the year when every HIV positive person on the planet would have access to antiretroviral drugs, and of course that hasn't happened. That's a bit of a kind of a black mark. And then the economy of the world is such that people just aren't prepared to make those kinds of commitments. Thanks for that, Denise. This is a really good report, and we're looking forward to follow-up reports from you. And you should go home now and have some sleep, I think.
I wish.
Well, you know.